Hello, everybody. Welcome to Astrology for Mystics. I'm your host, astrologer Jennifer Jennings. I hope you guys are doing well this afternoon. I'm hate to, be the bearer of bad news, but we've got a little boy, Jamal White, who has been kidnapped at gunpoint by four men. Four men. Four men came as his dad. Y'all just got to watch this video. You just got to watch the video and you'll see why I am just tongue tied here. You'll have to see it. Let me share my screen. And that way you see what I'm talking about here. I'm going to share the entire screen. Oh, man. This little boy is 7 years old, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Jamal White. Oh, let me take that off. Go back. Here is the video. Here is the video of him being kidnapped from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 6200 Hustis Street or Hustis Street. Not sure how you pronounce it, but this is the video. Here's the car. You'll see the car. Are y'all able to see? Yeah, you're seeing it. Okay. Turning around and listen. Let me turn it up. Did y'all hear that? Could y'all hear that? The aunt said told the boy's aunt tells 12 News, four men, all with guns. It says the person who took it's not playing. I saw it playing. You couldn't hear it though. You couldn't hear that. You couldn't hear this being played. Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't know why. I have no idea what's going on. Why you can't hear my strings. Um, well, shit. Okay. Well, it's viral. It's a viral video. It's all over. And the aunt is saying that there was four men. The dad and him were coming back from the park. So him and the dad were coming back from the park. And what happened is one of them apparently held the dad at gunpoint and one of the other ones got the kid. I mean, sad, 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 sad. This is what let me show you what hold on. Let me show you what the vehicle looks like. Yeah, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm just not good at this stuff. I'm really not. This is what the vehicle looks like right here. A Jeep Renegade SUV. And I imagine that there is definitely, am I still skipping? Am I still skipping, y'all? I'm sorry. It's probably because I'm sharing way too much stuff. Hold on. There we go. You can just block me out. This is what the SUV looks like right here. White Jeep Renegade. Okay, cool. All right, so here's the deal. Here's the deal. Let me go ahead and share. Let me take me off because maybe it's this. Maybe if I turn off the cam and share my screen. Here we go. I'm going to take this off. That way you can see my map. Let me know when the map is up, and if you guys are able to hear me once the map is up. If I'm breaking up, then I'm just going to put it off. I'm going to take the map off, but I've already started mapping him. It would appear that there is, let me just show you. Okay, cool. Let me show you the chart when he goes missing against the chart of Wisconsin. Okay. Where did it go? The chart on the left is going to be when he was kidnapped, and the chart on the right is Wisconsin. So we've got him being kidnapped in Wisconsin over here on the right. And what I want you to notice is right here in the fourth house of home, we have the fourth house of home, and there is Eris. There is a discord. There is the goddess of war and strife. The goddess of war and strife is right here at a 2543. What degree does Wisconsin shine at? Capricorn, 2543. So there is a discord at home with the way that Wisconsin shines with the government. That is first and foremost what I see immediately with his kidnapping. And I see that there is something having to do with the past, possibly past courts. There's a divine justice at a 922. They have, and that divine justice is coming down in degree to a 907 with the enlightenment of home and mom. And so that is something that I am looking at. Mars was at a 1412. In Virgo. Mercury is at a 1404 in Leo, and there's a vertex, an intense experience with a child, and it's hidden. This is about death, rebirth. There's the vehicle, the 1412 in Virgo. And so we have these 14s. We've got this 1411 with Ceres in Aries in the third house. There's a lot of energy here, limits and obstacles with Saturn. I mean, this third house, this is the community right here. And this right here, these, let me show you. Mars is sextile to Juno. There's a relationship here, right? There's definitely a relationship. We can see it. We hear it. We know it. There's 4 men with masks. But Mars is fated with Ceres. Mars is fated with Ceres. This 1411 with Ceres is coming to Pluto. Pluto in the 6th house of Wisconsin's chart. 1456. And on his map, that 14 degree is going this way. It's going northeast. Let me turn on some addresses here. This is the park that they could have been at. I'm not sure. But this is where the event is rising. So it rises at a 28 degree in Sag right here. It's rising at this degree and is descending with communications and the cameras. Jupiter is here. Jupiter is actually opposing the ascendant. Like with the quartz. That's what I'm thinking. It feels like quartz. Something of the past. There is definitely something with the past here. That's going that way. Ceres is going this way, and Mars is going this way. Mars is actually going all the way down to Illinois. Actually, Chicago. And it's right here where someone puts on a Facebook post that there was a possible sighting on 294 of a vehicle leaving the Chicago area. This is Mars. This is the vehicle. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out. I mean, it's been almost 24 hours that this boy has been missing. No updates from the police department. I mean, that's really not a surprise. And then here's the corrections. I got the corrections. Just in case that there's a past offender, the missing event is also rising over here at the Department of Corrections from past offenders. So I am putting past offenders on the map, even though I'm hesitant to think that it is random. That some four guys just randomly chose this boy. I know. There's something more to this story, for sure. I think, anyway. But I did put offenders on the map. Here's another park where the moon is going. The moon is going this way. The moon was in Aquarius in the first house. And it was square the flame of life with Vesta, with the investigation going this way. This way to Vogel Park, Lindsay Park. So I've got one angle for the U.S. Marshals. I've got one angle for the Wisconsin. And then one for the FBI. And I'm working it. I've been working it since this morning, since I heard about it. And I'm going to keep working it. Going to keep working it. But I'm pretty sure that this could be the park, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure because they're coming this way. The dad and his son is coming this way. The boy is riding. Jamal and his dad are going this direction. They're coming down the road here. They're going this way. The car is parked. I want to say the car is parked on the other side of the road. Let's see. Let me get at ground level here. I think that's the house. And I think it's right here where the car was. Like right here where this car is, maybe. Somewhere right around here. Where's my... Where did he go? Oh, well, we're over here. So, yeah, okay. All right. So the ringer would have been here, maybe. Okay. Okay, so we're right here. This is where it's rising. This is where the vehicle is. Okay, so I'm turned around then. So the vehicle's on this side. So let me go back. Let me go down. So where my little man is right here, this is where I believe the vehicle was. And the camera is over here. The ring camera is over here, right through here. The vehicle goes this way. Dad and the little boy are going this way toward the house. Okay, so maybe that is where the park was. Because supposedly they left the park. So that would have been right here. Okay. So supposedly like the kid and his dad left the park. He's riding his bike. The dad is beside him. They're playing, they're racing. And then they pass this car where my little man is. They pass this car that's waiting. It's just waiting for them. It backs up, goes down, holds the dad at gunpoint, grabs the kid, and gone. Almost 24 hours. It's right there. Okay. Well, that makes more sense then because the missing event is rising right here in Sagittarius. And what is Sagittarius? Sagittarius can be a pew-pew. It can be quick movement of energy with fire, right? So going this way, gets the kid, goes this way, and then where does he go? Then where does he go? Does he go this way? This is a Venus in Gemini that Astrea is opposing. So Astrea, she's going this way. This is the divine justice that is about the past law, past experiences, and it's opposing the values of the communications going this direction. And then let's look at Venus. What is she doing besides opposing? Where's she at? Venus is here in the 5th house of kids. She's trying in the moon, so she's in good standing with the moon. So it's possible we could find him on the moon line. It's fated with Vesta, the flame of life. So we could even go north. We could go northwest, and then we could go southwest. There's a fate with Cupid. Cupid is at a 824 in Capricorn. Semi-square Eris. The weight is a 4. No. Ceres is going to that 1456. She is definitely headed there. Let's see if she makes it there before stationing or anything. And right now, Saturn is definitely at a station. Saturn is definitely at a station. We can tell that. Let's see. 1456. So Mars is going to come over the 1456. Mercury is going to station, though. No, more Mercury is going to come. Okay. 1456. So they're going to go 1456. And then I want to see this energy with Ceres. God, that's still 4 days. Jesus. That's in the 3rd house of communications. I really hope it wouldn't take that long. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me see if I can get that to the 1752 again. 1456. There it is. Let me see if that goes to 1752. There, it might. Right there, 1753. And this is when I was watching, y'all, this is when I was watching Sebastian as well. You know, he's been popping in and out of the transits. Sebastian has. Let me see if he's still in transit right now. He is. The 1614, that relationship that I've been watching with Sebastian, is now moved off of the station and is moving forward now. And there is a disordered aggression about the investigation, the past investigation. Definitely a disordered aggression with the investigation. And there is definitely an opposition that is coming with Katie as well. That's happening momentarily. So this was another, you know, this is the time period that I've been watching for Sebastian. And when Jamal was taken, 1614, there was a relationship that was at a station right before it moved forward. I do know that the U.S. Marshals, their Venus is at a 252 in Scorpio in the 11th house. And, you know, they are definitely being transformed today with networking. They're on it. They're on it. And now the lunar nodes are on the TBI. The TBI is faded right now. And as the TBI is faded, Katie has an opposition. And she has an opposition with the courts. She has an opposition. That is for certain. That is for certain. So, you know, this was a time that I was watching the Marshals. I was looking at Sebastian's case. But now it's like everything is pretty much throwing up on itself. Yeah, the sun is shining on the TBI as well. There are things happening with Homeland Security today. Let's see. What is going? Okay, so Mars is going to come to that 1456 first. That's going to go to that's going toward Illinois. So it could be that they're checking out a tip. I mean, Chicago is only 2 hours away. Let's see. Let me go back to the 1456 right here. And tonight, Steve Fisher, this was the night that I was saying that Steve Fisher has a lot of warring with his magnetism and how he shows up in the world. Some of his investigations, and I'm sorry to say, but it's the truth. It's not just my opinion. You can ask other law enforcement agencies who has worked with Steve Fisher, and I'm sure they'll tell you the same thing. He can impede. He can cause great harm to an investigation, and that's that. That's that. And as he has this warring coming to his ascendant, Katie, has an opposition. I mean, it is what it is. All right, so moving right along to Jamal's case, let's look at that 1456 with their Pluto, with Wisconsin's Pluto, because this is going to matter. These degrees matter. So this is in midnight. The U.S. Marshals are still in transit. Their sun is still in transit with a lot of warring. It took 4 hours for the Amber Alert to come out. But hey, I mean, they have to do their due diligence when it comes to Amber Alerts. Look at how long it took for Sebastian's Amber Alert. I still haven't gotten an Amber Alert for Sebastian. That's a big part of a problem, not just with Wisconsin or Tennessee, but other states, other places. We've got major problems with the Amber Alert. Major problems. Tomorrow, well, let's see. Hold on. I'm not going to get ahead of myself, but midnight, this is when things really get heavy for Katie, whether she's asleep or not. Things are going to get really heavy for her. The mom of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, who's missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. But so here's the sixth house of health. Let's look at this with Wisconsin. I have not found the birthday of the mom or the dad or the kid, but you know what, of Jamal. But I just don't even need it right now. I feel like let me go back to Wisconsin. So Wisconsin is over here, the 1456. 1456, whereas she's at a 916. They rise at a 1931. Oh, geez. Well, we do know that Hygeia, the purity of health, she is coming to their Chiron here in the 8th house. And it could be about the Amber Alert. It could be about the Amber Alert. There's a lot of warring. There's a lot of warring with the way that Wisconsin shines with their authority. And they may just have to break it down and say, you know what, guys, this is why. They're going to have to break it down. Otherwise, people are going to go apeshit. I mean, that's just the way it is. Where's Juno now? Where's Juno? She's just now at 1615. There's going to be a relationship that's going to oppose them, but their relationships at a 1634. I've looked at the other states, the neighboring states, and I'm going to keep looking at them until I get because right now if those guys went to another state, I would definitely, I'm looking toward, instead of going to the moon on the map, going this way, I'm tempted to more go that way to Illinois, to Chicago, because I mean they could have jumped. No, I don't know if there's a ferry. I doubt that because this is a no. I doubt there's any ferries. This is just insane. This is just insane. I would lean more going this way. The moon, the FBI is going more toward Indiana. And that's just the one that I've got up for them. There's going to be a wake up call with groups. That's what the FBI, and it's like, how do we know? Because there's so much chaos going on in the world here in the United States with ICE and all of that's going on. Who knows if this is really going to be this wake up call with the FBI? But there is a wake up call with the investigation, with the things that are hidden, with the video, with the networking, with Sebastian. That is all today and tomorrow. So the Mars goes over the 1456. We're going to have the Chiron. They're going to be, oh my God. I hope this boy is okay. 2002. That's in the fourth house of home. 27. All these Cancerian. Yeah. Yeah, this just doesn't look good. All right. Okay, so the midheaven is that 1409 with the FBI. The FBI. And I don't know if this wouldn't have anything to do with Sebastian, y'all. I mean, I really don't, because his mother is having an opposition. She has a major opposition here. And I can see that the FBI is holding the midheaven. And then there's going to be a wake-up call that causes the FBI to be pained with groups and networking. The networking, okay? There's definitely a disordered aggression with Sebastian today. There's so much happening in his case. And it's going to get more intense. I'm telling you. And there's going to be a relationship that's going to come to the ascendant of Sebastian. And I'll be talking about that in later videos. So what I want to do now is I want to look at the 1456 with Mercury. Even though Mercury is in Leo, I still want to see the transformation that's coming to Wisconsin with this, with the media, with the child, the 1456. Okay, so that's the very next day, and the moon is now in Pisces. Now there's a divine justice with the United States of America at a federal level. There's so much going on in the world. It's crazy. Crazy. It's so much I just can't keep up. Can't keep up. So I'm going to look at Wisconsin one more time with this. And then I'm going to keep working on this map. This poor little boy. So the moon is now in Pisces. Oh, I see. Oh, it's already, there's going to be You know, if this boy stays missing, it's not going to be good for Wisconsin. It's going to be an all out. This will be an all out. This will be bad. This is going to be bad because Mercury is coming to oppose the fourth house of home with groups, with we the people, and the media, the Amber Alert. I understand the protocols. I do. Understand having protocols. However, this is just not going to be good. So Mercury is going to oppose, then it's going to transform, and then Mercury is going to come to that 1544 where there's wisdom with the public image. Let's see that. Let's look at that. 1544. Oh my God, it's not going to go there. Mercury stationing. That's right. Mercury stationing. So let's get the 2002 because this is where they meet their mark. Wisconsin is 850. There is still warring over their sun. That 2543 is still over their sun, and it's going to station. Jesus, help us, God. Oh my gosh. It's going to stay for them. It's not good. So a warring with their sun until August 3rd. That's when it goes back to the FBI. That's when it goes back to the FBI. It also goes back to FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Association, has that degree. And the weight is on Wisconsin and the warring with we the people. Yeah. The 2008, that is the lunar nodes are at the 2008. That's my pattern for missing kids. I hope that he is found. I hope he is found today. And that is, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm just going to leave it at that because this is heartbreaking that they're going to have that all that time. That 2543 is just going to hover. Let's look at, so July 9th, it was still with the FBI. July 10th, it is with Wisconsin. And then, of course, he goes missing on July 11th. And this is, this is wild. Let me look at Illinois. I don't know. It happened at 7:00. It should have, I don't know. Maybe they had to look into parental custody. They had to get, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why it took so long. Let's see. Where's Illinois? Illinois. And let's go back to being kidnapped. So let me look at this real quick. 1752. God's will is being done. 1752, 1557. So I'm looking for a 1752 and a 1557 in these charts. Where else would we be? We could be, and it's not, I'm just going to go over this real quick because we got a lot to work out, it looks like. let's look at Minnesota. 1557. There's the 1752 in the third house of communications. So we have a Minnesota. Minnesota. So we have a Minnesota. Where else? We have a Minnesota. $15.57. One excuse is as bad as another. The boy was abducted and Amber Alert should have been issued immediately. I mean, what you said. I can't argue with that. Look at that. Indiana's got the 1456. Indiana has the 1456. That is the Pluto degree of Wisconsin. Okay, so we got Indiana, Minnesota, Minnesota. So we got Minnesota. There's Minnesota right here on the moon line. That is square Missouri. So let me look at Missouri. Missouri. There's Michigan too. There's okay, so Michigan has a 1453. So we know that Ceres will come there first. There's the 850. Oh, okay, so let's look at Michigan one more time. So Michigan is here. That's where the Venus is going, is toward Michigan. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at this. So the Venus is going toward Michigan. Michigan's public image. The vertex is 1711. I stopped it. There was Mars was in Virgo at a 1711, so we could be looking in Michigan. Why aren't Amber Alerts issued immediately? They require specific criteria. Okay. That's a check mark. Must confirm. That's a check mark. Child is that's a check mark. Check mark. Suspect and vehicle. Check mark. I mean, what in the actual hell is going on here? What is going on here? There was a serious child abduction. I mean, and look, let's face it. If it had anything to do with the mother and the custody and stuff like that, you really think that she would ever think that that kid would ever forgive her for kidnapping him? I mean, no. This is insane. This is insane. And you know, people are going to be saying it. You know what people are going to be saying. Well, if it was a white child, you know people are going to be saying that. And that's not true. I hope that wouldn't be true. Jesus. There is not an excuse. There is not an excuse. I mean, why? Why does it take the government so long? Let's see if Cora can give us any answers here. Because I'm really trying hard to understand. I mean, I still haven't gotten an Amber Alert for the boy. I don't know about y'all. I don't know if it's just, it should be worldwide, or at least if it's in the United States, the United States. You have to have description. So a child that doesn't, okay, so, okay, but what about a child that has been kidnapped? That's still, there's no excuse. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The federal administrator of Amber Alerts receives 800,000 reports of missing children. Oh my God. Let me go back. Oh God. National Center. Where's Wikipedia? The father was right there. Yeah. The father was right there. June 13th, 1984. I don't know if I've got the chart for it or not. Let me see. Let me see, because we're about to make a chart. Well, Jesus, I mean, I'm missing what, that was stupid. Okay, let's just go ahead. Oh, and right before I came on here, I found out that oh God, who is it? At Night put out some stuff about Sebastian about July 6th at 10:56. I'm definitely going to be talking about that. I don't know if I should just start another live for that one. That's a whole nother ball game right there. That's a whole nother ball game, and we could go back and we can look. I don't, have y'all seen that post that they put out? Yeah, yeah, they put out a post a couple of hours ago about July 6th receiving a text or a message on July 6th at 10:56 a.m. about Sebastian and the rants of, unaliving him and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. So I've got that saved, ready to really look at it. Yeah. Yeah, they did. Hey, D Green. I'm sure you'll start hearing about it too. June 13th, 1984. June 13th, 1984. 1984. This is when it was created. Alexandria, Virginia. Okay. Alexandria, Virginia. $12 a.m. is a default. If you don't have a time, you can just do a default. Seems to work out pretty dang good. Now we're going to look at the CEO, Michelle. She's also in Virginia, graduated at the University of Maryland, interned with the FBI. All right, let's look at this. Just because. I can't remember if Seth has this 1818, but it makes me wonder. I wonder if he does, because that would definitely, because he is trying to change the Amber Alert. They have a dark moon with the state of Tennessee. You don't say. You don't say. A wake-up call about funding. Their Chiron is with, it looks like with, okay, summer. Let's look at this. Kidnapping with them. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Shit. I've been looking at so much today. Dark moon at 11:54. And then as soon as the Amber Alert hits, the dark moon comes to the National Center for Missing and Exploited. The dark moon. So as soon as the 11:59, what's it at now? Yeah, it's past the 12. So 11:59, that could have been when they issued it. Hold on. Let's see when that takes place. 11:59. And it's to the Mars. You know what I'm saying? It's coming to the Mars. Mars is what? The vehicle, the body, the movement. That's this morning. That's at 11 a.m. this morning. So a whole 24 hours later. Whole 24 hours later. This would be kind of good. I mean, for me anyway, just to see if this would hold any weight with finding kids. The lunar nodes are coming here. Sebastian has that degree. Oh, yeah. I'm going to keep this and use it when I'm mapping. Let me look at the FBI with this. Let me look at the FBI. Because this might be something to start using when looking for these kids. So they have a 1647. They have a 1643 that's at a station that day. That whole day, it's just stationing at that degree. This flame of life, the 2143 is the flame of life. And then we have the FBI, the flame of life. And when I say the flame of life with Vesta, I'm just saying that she reignites the flame of life, or she extinguishes it. I would say that moon is probably going to be the 1647 with their weight and the problems with the kids. So I would say that's probably going to be a 1647. I want to move it. I want to move it 1 minute. Right there. Right there. And we'll see. Well, I'm going to compare it with 12 a.m. and then 12:02 a.m. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, the lunar nodes are definitely coming to their magnetism, the 2058. 2058. They're going to be fated with their partnerships. And I remember that, what's his face? Eric Craddock, Sumner County, he has the 2056. So I want to get that. I want to get the lunar nodes because the south node is going to reflect their magnetism. 2058. And we're going to see it. We're going to observe this with their Amber Alert system. This is July 18th, 9:23 a.m. This is their magnetism. Mercury is stationing in the 12th house. Things of the past. Look at that. The DA with Sebastian. The DA, the judge, all that. That's July 18th, Friday morning. And this is a day that I'm watching too. This is a day that I'm watching. Look at that. Hygeia is at a 1817. So she's coming to the 1818, I mean. And it's about how they are alert. maybe, maybe they'll find him. Maybe they'll find him. Let's look. Let's look and see if we can get a clue here. 1623. Let me go back. I know that I saw one of them have a 1623 in their chart. Who was it? The FBI be transformed at 1622. I know I just saw it. Hell, maybe it's Wisconsin. No. Damn. I'll have to look again. Jesus. So if the FBI is transformed, let me put that. This is the 18th. Jesus. Surely he's going to be found. I mean, this stressed me out because look, this day on July 18th, this is a big day for what the 17th is, the 17th and the 18th are days that I'm observing with Sebastian and also with Summer. The TBI is going to be expanded with Summer Wells and Don Sherfy Jr. And so I'm watching that. I'm really paying attention here. Let's see what Hygeia is doing with the lunar nodes, because this is the missing and exploited kids. It's in good conversation with Mercury. It's square Mars. Where's Mars? Mars is at the 1808, so it's challenging the 1808, the Mars. Mars is coming to that 1818 with them. They're going to be challenged. And it's fated with this with the communications and a relationship. This is not good. This is not good at all. Where's the breakup? Where's the breakup? 514. So yeah, I'm going to be looking and, trying to find this kid myself. I'm going to be looking for him too. Let's see. Let's see if there's any updates at all on Facebook. This is really, once you hear that video of him being kidnapped and screaming, I mean, that's so sad. Just so sad. Let me look at posts. And sorry, it's going slow. So many people didn't receive a but I don't see any updates. Don't see any updates. Absolutely sad. Very sad. So I'm going to keep looking for him. And like I said, I was going to show you what I'd learned about Sebastian. So allegedly, there was a message. I don't even know. I haven't even seen it myself. I just heard about it. Let me go to Facebook again with At Night. This is, this is why the lunar nodes of fate are upon the TBI right now. Okay. This is it. I was trying to figure out what it could be, but no, it's, it's from the Creative Intelligence Agency about Sebastian. And this post, hold on, let me see. I'm pretty sure they said it was on here. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Do y'all see it? That's the post. Okay. I didn't expect this from you. I have the right to blank your son, even if you send me money, but I want peace. July 6, 2025 at 10:15, 56 a.m. inbox. National tip line. And they posted this 3 hours ago. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull Sebastian up and I'm going to show you why I was watching this time period. I mean, it's frustrating. Very frustrating that this is what it is. However, I can't fix, manage, control it. All I'm doing is just sharing information with you. Sebastian's chart is on the left and this message is on the right. Okay. The lunar nodes at the time that this comes in, the lunar node, the south node is at a 2136. Currently, the south node and the north node are at a 2117. That goes to the TBI. Also goes to me. Also goes to GJ. Layla Centinello's father. Okay, so we're going to be fated here soon. We are now. How about that? We are now. We're fated right now. This 2136, this south node, is coming to Sebastian's Saturn. It's coming down to the Saturn. Once it leaves the TBI, it comes to slow Sebastian down with the public image, with the 10th house, with the government. But I want you to see something. He shines at a 1542, and the wisdom with Poseidon in the third house of communications is a 1542. There is a wisdom. There's something hidden here with the investigation. In the fourth house of home, there is a 955. Well, Chris Proudfoot and his ex-wife Nina have that 955. Point blank, period. Sebastian, this is the reason why your birth time matters in the state of matter, because information that comes in with Sebastian either at an 11:43 or an 8:30 is captured the moment that he is born. Not at 5:48, not at 5:46, but at 5:47 a.m. This 8:30 is captured in the will, and this 8:30 is where information comes in and out. And we received information, the fourth house of home, with Cupid, with the courts, with the higher learning, with the long travels, with the pew, with whatever. This 8:30 was in transit when this took place. And it's a collective 24-hour transit. Mars was also coming to the 1104, the burden of money that Katie has in her chart. There's a breakup that comes at an 1104. Mars is at 1103. I was watching this time period. 1036 is Chris Proudfoot. So Mercury is coming to the 1036 with Chris Proudfoot. The sun is shining at a 1448. The 1448 goes to Eric Craddock. Eric Craddock. Let me just show you because, sometimes I just wonder if I could just show you, maybe you'll believe it even more. The other thing that I'm noticing is here in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money, things are hidden. The 2542, that is Terry Bowersox all day, every day. That's his connection with the FBI. Okay. But this 1448 goes to the United States, Saturn, limits and obstacles with the government, and it's shining on the Saturn degree. But let me show you Eric Craddock. Because no matter what time that man is born, no matter what time Eric Craddock is born, I want to show you. Because the sun is shining on an emotional explosion with a relationship here at home with the government. With the government. That 1448 is him all day, every day. Eric Craddock, September 8th, 1988. That's him. The sun is shining right there. And it is this 1448 that's going to be coming into transit. I can't say this enough. That 1448 is coming in transit with a weight. There's going to be a weight that's going to come over him, and it's going to weigh it's going to weigh his ass down. Will it be about Sebastian? I think so. This is July 29th. July 29th. Go ahead and mark it on your calendars, July 29th. It's also with the United States. It's with Donald Trump. It's with Sebastian. Yep. July 29th. So mark it on your calendar. Kathy Bowersox is going to have limits and obstacles with the FBI on this day. Point blank period. And that's all she wrote. And that's all I've got for today. So I hope you enjoyed this live. I'm going to let you guys go. That way you can enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And, when we look at the different, and look at that. Mars is coming at that 1448 while Sebastian is in transit with this 1200. The dark moon is in transit and I'm telling you, she is having an opposition. We saw this already. We saw it coming. Didn't know how it was gonna come, but here it is. Here it is. And look, Venus and Astrea are going to come in a full-on opposition. Let's look at that before I let y'all go. Hold on. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. You can't hear? But I could listen. Thank you, but I could listen. You can't hear? Hold on. Hold on. Look at this, y'all. Damn cat. Look at this. There's going to be a full-on opposition here. It's about that money, honey. It's about values. Here it is. Ooh. How is this going to work out in the world? Look at that. Look at that. This is going to be big. 654. Whew. Law. 654. There's Mars at a 1448. Y'all, there could be something else. There could definitely be something else going on that'll take place at 650. I'm telling you, there will definitely be something else going on, but there is an opposition. Major opposition, 917 and 917. All the while, the United States, Saturn, has Mars over it. Intense experience with the child, with a kid with children. And I see that 1644. Several states have that. The moon, man, a major opposition here. So Venus opposing asteroid. Lord. 2052, the sun is going to shine at the 2058 with the missing and exploited. The Marshalls. And then she comes to that 916. So Venus is going to sit on a lot of problems with Katie Proudfoot, and then there's going to be this justice that opposes her. Venus will move off of her, and then Astrid is just going to come and oppose her, and it's about the courts. It's about the quick movement, the money. Interesting. Major Homeland Security. Homeland Security. What else is that? What else is that? Hold on. What else is that? That 349. Let me look at the observatory. Let me look. Do I have the observatory up? Yeah, I do. No, that's a 352. 1557. That would have been yesterday, the 1557 with the solar observatory. So let me look at space weather real quick. I'm just making sure because I remember that there was something else that was going to that Homeland Security degree. Geomagnetic storm watch. Okay. So we've got a geomagnetic storm watch. Wind speeds picking up. Okay, I don't see anything right here. Let me look at the earthquakes. It could be a plane, it could be an explosion. There's something that's going to be happening with this as well. Okay, nothing. I mean, Mount Rainier is quaking like crazy. That would be Washington. This right here, though, that opposition that's coming. And see, Saturn is at a station at a 156. I don't know. Things are about to really pick up and be really, really intense with the United States and Saturn. Their Saturn is at 1448, just like Craddock. And so there's going to be a lot of warring with, even more so with Craddock when it comes to this post with at night. This post with at night is going to set a fire under creators, and they're just going to continuously be under fire here. This 1200 was Sebastian with the dark moon. Sebastian's 1200, it's about the investigation because Pallas is an investigator. So it's about the communications with the relationship with Sebastian, and the dark moon is at this 1200. Pallas is an investigator. It's about the investigation. There's a darkness that's come over the investigation in the 7th house of relationships. And we talked about this. We've already talked about this, how it was coming. And we've also talked about how the South Node at a 2113 is coming to Sebastian, that South Node at a 2113. Where's the South Node? Let me tell you exactly when it happens. Limits and obstacles. Right there. July 13th. This is tomorrow, Sunday at 3:23 p.m. And look at that. Mercury has already left the 1448. Let's just go ahead and that's going to be Craddock. The 1448 is Craddock. So it'll be Craddock first with the United States, and then that 2113 is coming. Limits and obstacles for Sebastian, his public image. And we do see that the Trans-Pluto out of 349 is still with Homeland Security. Right there. And then what's going to happen? This is a big time for, I'm telling you, this is like a big time for Summer Wells, for Don Sharfy Jr., for the TBI, for these cases in Tennessee. I see a lot of activity with the cases here in Tennessee. So this 1652, that is Don Sharfy Jr. Yeah, so this is going to be a good day tomorrow too. I'm sure it'll be about this stuff. And then on the 14th, that's when the state of Tennessee and Sebastian have the collective energy all day. The 350 is a 24-hour. And so by Monday, he and the state of Tennessee in the past investigation is going to come back into fruition in a big way. And again, so is summer. So is summer. There's a lot of things going on with these cases. And I think that there's a lot going on with these cases with the agencies that we really just don't know anything about. They have one chance. They have one chance and they got to get it right. And that's what I see with the DA, because the DA at an 1808, look at that. There's the 1808. Look at that. Wow. That's also with the missing and exploited children. 1623. Oh, that's the opposition. That's the opposition with the United States. Holy shit. Okay. All right. There's a 352. Okay, so this will be a solar day. I think that this will also be a solar event day. It looks like there's a lot going on this day. I've did videos about it. I've definitely did videos about it. I think that this could be a solar event. We could have a CME. I don't know, but there's definitely a lot that's happening here on July 18th. Maybe that's when he will be found, if he's not found any sooner. I don't know. I'm going to keep looking at this. I'm going to keep looking at this and keep investigating and see what I can come up with. Oh. All right, I'm going to have to take this call. I hope you guys have a good rest of the evening, and I will be back on soon. Peace out, y'all.
Clean like your soul, won't be forgotten. We stand strong for you, never give up. Seek justice and truth. Day and night we search. Community gathers, wipe the tears away. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, babe. It lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, hey, it lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise